Tonight we're spending time in our nation's 48th state, Arizona, which joined the Union in 1912. And next we have a story that begins on that historic day that Arizona became a state. It's a film from maverick film director and writer we call The Baron of Arizona. Now with that, Lippert was a company known for delivering low-budget westerns and minor crime films. Do it with an even bigger budget. That turned out to be The Baron of Arizona, which was the equivalent of Gone with the Wind. It was a period piece with a cast headed by Baron of Arizona. The cinematography is by the celebrated Baron of Arizona. And most telling, the film has a running time of 97 minutes, not 60 minutes or less, which was the usual running time of most productions. Our film tells a true story of the life of James Addison Rivas, who through a series of forgeries and manipulations, even marriage, was able to claim ownership of the Arizona territory, at which time he declared himself the Baron of Arizona. Baron of Arizona, part, being at once charming, intelligent, and certainly flamboyant. And he gives one of his finest performances. So from 1950, also with Ellen Drew and Beulah Bondi, here's the Baron of Arizona.
Hey, Playboy, run this shit, ho. Hey, Playboy, run this shit, ho.
Pop quiz. If Hillary Clinton possessed a mountain of mortifyingly salacious blackmail on the entire political establishment in Washington, and Q possesses Hillary Clinton's data, then who in fact possesses said mountain of mortifyingly salacious blackmail? I'd like to introduce everybody to a little game I call Green Light the Red Lights.
Brought to you by the letter Q and the number 17.
When somebody screws you, screw them back, but a lot harder, folks.
The Air Force claims the timing of the exercise as the U.S. enters a new crisis with Iran is purely coincidental, and the exercise was planned months in advance. The exercise took place
and we've been given some good indications from some of these drops that we've been getting from 17 and other places. And whatever you think about that, I always challenge people to go and actually read through it. So I have a few that I want to bring up. This was just a clip of a really good video. I'll post a link before. It's probably these clips that would get me censored here. We'll see what happens, which is another question you should be asking. And let me just really quickly frame this. In 2017, we had these anonymous posts showing up on these, sort of dark web channels that are usually used by, these computer programmers and people who are really good with the internet. And they started talking about future events. And I think what's happening is there are people that are indeed leaking classified information to the public because there was no other way. And think about it. If this was a plan, a big plan to do this sting operation, how do you keep people informed when the whole mainstream media is...
Some wine, Father. Your horse is dead, Father. Your wagon firewood. I found you. Me, Rita.
I'm not a monk, Rita. To escape police, I had to wear this rope.
Who are you?
A wanderer like Cain looking for a woman of my own.
I tell you, she was beautiful. But I told her that a Spanish promise is like a Spanish pepper. It burns whoever tastes it.
Here's a hat.
Oh, thank you, Angie.
And here's a coat.
Ah,
I think this'll fit you.
Thanks.
What's the matter? Aren't you going to finish the stew I made for you?
Oh, certainly, Angie. It's excellent.
It's your horses.
2 years ago in Madrid, I was dining with royalty one night. One of them said that no amount of washing could turn a gypsy white. I accused him of insulting the gypsies.
You said that to a nobleman?
I spit in his face and received 20 lashes on my back. That pig of a nobleman was the Marquis de Santella.
Santella? Secretary to the king?
He's a pig. He prays every night to the devil.
He's rich.
I know. I have a plan. In his house is much gold. I know exactly where it is hidden. But I need help. And we can all share in that great wealth.
It's too dangerous.
She's right.
A thief never takes chances. We can get that gold.
Then why do you need us?
I told you I have a plan.
As it is, they chase us like dogs from one province to another. Madrid. The Marquess would order half of Spain to hunt us down.
Does a girl make decisions for you?
She has a man's shrewdness.
A shrewd woman would know when to trust a man.
Now, why should we trust you? We don't know who you really are or where you come from. Tomorrow you leave our camp.
Hey, donkey! Joe Biden's a pedophile.
How do you inform the people? You got to bypass them. Like Trump had said, we're going to go around and we're going to reach directly to the people. And there's some very interesting things that came out in 2017. And so here's a quick little synopsis, just a minute clip from a documentary. I'll post the whole thing below. That just it makes you think. So here we go.
The Q story begins on October 5th, 2017, when President Trump held a gathering at the White House for his military generals and their spouses, during which he made this cryptic statement.
You guys know what this represents?
Tell us, sir.
I don't know, maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storm?
Could be the calm before the storm.
What storm?
We have the world's great military people in this room, I will tell you that. And we're going to have a great evening. Thank you all for coming.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
The president was asked for clarification the next day, but his response was the same.
You'll find out.
And to this day, President Trump hasn't explained this remark, and no mainstream media outlets have been able to offer a theory as to what storm he might have been alluding to.
So I just want to know, what storm was he alluding to? Was he just speaking out of his ass? Was he doing hand signs, drawing the letter Q in the air for reasons? Like, are they playing a game? What is he doing here? Right? Where does that come from? The idea of a calm before the storm. And where have we seen that, say, reported within the last 24 hours? Right? We got the Washington Examiner. This was actually, it was today or last night. I saw this last night, but here we go. We got another one. The calm before the storm. Uneasy quiet descends on D.C. and Congress ahead of inauguration. So it's very interesting. I find it interesting. I find it fascinating. And I find it fascinating the amount of things, as many people out there that are going to tell you, oh, none of the stuff that 17 said is true. None of the stuff that's been coming out from this is true. It never came to pass. It's all this. It's all that. Those people don't know what they're talking about. I'm telling you that right now. Not just because I'm somehow biased, but just because I spent the last year and a half or so, 2 years, looking into it and actually following through. And what's interesting is a lot of the old posts in 2017 and 2018 were not about what was going on then. They are about what's happening now. And there's two ways you can look at it. It's incredibly, like if you go around and you compare it and you look at the headlines, you look at what's happening, you look how this is rolling out, specifically starting with the Obamagate thing, the whole deal, and you compare to the old statements that were put out, it's uncanny and it's quite amazing. It's quite incredible when you think about it. So I don't know. We're all going to see if that is legit or not. But there's something really interesting about it, I've got to tell you.
Hey, Playboy, run this shit, ho. Hey, Playboy, run this shit, ho.
Our source is not the Russian government.
What a cuckoo dream.
I thought it was going to be an epiphany for those who were in opposition to our democracy to see the light. Instead, it has been an epiphany for the world to see that there are people in our country led by this president, for the moment, who have chosen their whiteness over democracy. That's what this is about. There was an article written a number of years ago on democracy, which said, I fear the day when white Americans will have to choose between their whiteness and this democracy. And we saw what happened that day. This cannot be exaggerated. The complicity, not only the complicity, the instigation of the President of the United States must and will be addressed.